The feelings I kept deep inside are now screaming at the top of their lungs, trying to voice our now infinite vow. I've wandered all my life, relying on a whim, and that has led me astray. Light has become my foe, defying everything while my future fades away. Tonight the moon invites me to the night sky, but my lips hesitate to voice a reply. But even so, I'm screaming from the depths of my heart. The feelings I kept deep inside are now screaming at the top of their lungs, trying to voice our now infinite vow. The strength has brought me this far, but if I only had a little more, my aim would be an endless blue sky gone by, no limitations at all. And when tomorrow reaches out once again, I'll hear its beckon and call. I'll listen to my heart whenever I'm in doubt, since it's never skipped a beat. While searching for our dreams, I'll never miss a step, because you're guiding my feet. Tonight the light that's shining in the night sky fills me with pain, because I know I can't fly. But even so, I'm still yearning from the depths of my heart. The world that was so dark around me has been transformed by pure blinding light, always and forever shining on me. You need a dreamer's heart in order to find the sky that's waiting for you. And when the doubt inside is fading away, the sky will open for you. Inside my heart and memory linger. I'll never let this chance slip through my fingers. You give me strength, so if I feel I can't break through, I'll think of you. If somehow light becomes your foe when you're once again immersed in the dark, know that watch the love in your heart knows the way. The feelings I kept deep inside will call destiny to open the skies, and as the heavens call out, I know I'll find the path that leads me. The feelings I kept deep inside are now screaming at the top of their lungs, trying to voice our now infinite vow. Your strength has brought me this far, but if I only had a little more, my aim would be an endless blue sky gone by, no limitations at all. And when tomorrow reaches out once again, I'll hear its beckon and call. This light inside my heart has been right here all along, and I've never noticed it at all. 'Cause every time I stumble down or have to take the long way around, it shines on me forevermore.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Sword Art Podcast. As always, I'm your wonderful Finned admin host, Shark. And, as you can see, my co-host Hikoru decided to return back, along with special guest
Yeah,
Bahr. Good morning, guys.
morning. Can't get rid of me that easy.
Damn, I
That was a
tried.
good-
You did. You tried to send assassins. I killed them all. Just they didn't know what they were dealing with.
Apparently not. So how are you this morning, Bahr? Welcome to the first podcast that you've been on.
Feeling pretty good, a little bit tired, but
Hi,
I've got my.
welcome to the dungeon.
Oh yeah, been looking forward to this.
Nice. Well, we're happy to have you on the show, and I'm glad you were able to take some time out of your day to join us.
Absolutely, anytime.
So just to get things started off, I will say, guys, Bahr's the last person to apply for a special guest has been Bahr. So if you want your chance to be on the podcast, sign up on that forum, on the Google form found in the blog section for the podcast. And the next person to sign up, you're on next month. If we
Yeah,
don't get anyone to sign up, the podcast might die and we might not finish up season 6. So come on, guys, if you like the podcast, join us.
Yeah, honestly, it's not about your position or about what you think about yourself. We honestly like anybody at this point, and we've always wanted anybody after we got through the whole staff thing that we did a couple seasons back. We really want the community to be involved. You guys say you love this, and we're trying to make some new things and try different things, and we really just want your support. We really do need special guests, and we really love doing this. Like I can't speak for Shark, but I've always wanted to do a podcast or something, and given this opportunity was really something that I look forward to, and it's something I love doing every month. And I love getting to talk about Sight and getting to give a little peek behind the scenes when I can. But we really need your guys' help. So please, I don't care if you think you're not good enough to do it. If you have a mic and you have time in the mornings, don't be afraid to sign up. We'd love to have you.
Absolutely.
Apply.
What was that, Bahr?
I said apply for Harambe. It's what he would have wanted.
God, no. Don't bring Harambe. You're going to make me cry. I don't want to cry on podcast.
Alright, well, let's get into it. So I'm sure a lot of you have noticed that we have released a Halloween event. Nick, you want to talk about that?
It's an event on Halloween. Yeah, that's all I really have. I really was not a part of this one, which is kind of shocking. I really wasn't part of this event. If you definitely want more feedback, go to Lemon or possibly Taeon, maybe? I don't know if Taeon was really involved. It was really Lemon's baby, and he worked really hard on it. I'm really proud of it. I've looked at it, but I'm not going to spoil anything. I just want you guys to have some fun. And that's kind of what we're about.
Yeah, it definitely looked
That's
like
all
it's
years
going to be a
have been
fun one.
I was a little bit more hands-on, so I can, well, not super hands-on, but I can share a little bit of info about it. Basically, you got the Loyal's Bizarre Shopkeep from Gaia Online entering SAO-RPG, and he has decided that he wants to hold a circus, as one does. And as soon as he got everybody's money for the tickets, he kind of just attacked them with zombies. And that's pretty much the juncture we're at right now. So there's a lot of really good rewards. You can check those out on the event page and the beginner floors. And it's really worth your time and attention, especially if you don't have any good gear yet. The stuff you can get is pretty good, and it's all cursed, so it's going to level up with you. It's a really good opportunity to get yourself into some decent.
And yes, people do kind of say, "Oh, but it's cursed," I can't treat it. I can't get rid of it. Who cares? Cursed? Yeah, cursed kind of sucks for an enchant. I will agree. I wouldn't. It's like getting Curse of Binding on a piece of armor in Minecraft. Like you don't want to put it on because you're gonna be stuck with it. However, if the weapon has the right enchants with cursed, like holy or like fallen damage, that's pretty dope.
And that's the thing is the two demonics you get a choice from. You have a choice, fully damage, or a fallen accuracy. So, like, no matter what you do, you're going to be getting a decent weapon. And sure, once you get into like the next tier, you can go and get yourself like a main weapon that you're going to use during that tier. But every time you tier up, you're going to have that weapon that has at least decent enhancements and can keep you on par with the rest of the community. So, like I said, great opportunity.
No kidding. Definitely
Yeah,
sounds like you can. It's treat it like a baby. You know, you teach it, you grow it up, grow it with you. So I mean, you got some wonderful advantage for player growth right there. At least that's what I'm getting
Yeah,
out of
definitely.
it.
And this will definitely become interesting moving forward, because as he said, this is from another, like what, another anime, right?
No,
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 it's more. I
Gaia
think it's a
Online.
game.
Gotcha.
Online.
Okay.
Yeah.
Typically, like, club
Oh,
penguin.
Gaia Online. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I had a major brain fart. Sorry. But that opens up some possibilities for events, because I'll just leave that there. There's possibility for other events moving forward.
Minor clarification. I was kind of just making a joke about the character
Oh,
design. It's not actually like a Gaia Online thing.
oh, you got my hopes up. I was gonna use that and run with it. Hardcore like sprint. I was like, wait, if he can do it,
Yeah,
I
right?
can do it.
Exactly.
And if I can do it, I can kill people now.
With a high enough weapon, sure.
Violence is never the answer, unless Hick's making the event.
In which case, you're never gonna see him, but he'll pop out of the shadows.
Yeet.
So, do we have any ongoing quests right now, or do we just have the event?
Not really. Focus is more on the event. We really haven't had time to make events. Make quests, because a lot of us have been busy. A lot of us are still recovering from the last floor boss. It's been rough.
Yeah, definitely. So what about the current floor? What's going on with that? I know we recently just finished the boss fight.
Yeah. I told you guys this next floor is gonna be bull, and sure enough, welcome to the labyrinth. I honestly really love this floor. I think it's great. I cannot take credit for it. I'm the one that's been working on it, but originally B-Box, Ruby made the floor, and they just kind of said, "Hey, I really need you to finish this up for me. I just am not able to." So I said, "Sure." And this floor has honestly been really fun to work on. It's got a lot of interesting little quirks with the floor, which I think fit it well. You can read about those on the floor itself. The whole labyrinth is lovely and interesting, and the little unique mechanics that come with it, I love. Um, the, I really haven't checked in on who's looking for the labyrinth floor boss. I don't know where that's at personally. I have really kind of been MIA because I've been really busy trying to work on things IRL and getting things situated just so I can come back and work. But
We got
Bahr,
nice. We should be opening up that thread reasonably soon, but it's going to be Bahr, Neo, Hestia, and Takao. So
ooh,
That's a pretty good team.
Tak is back in action.
Yeah, he came back. I was like, oh my god, Taco Cat's back.
Taco Cat's back. Who else has got? Les has come back with her Babby, her beautiful, beautiful little Babby.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oikawa came back for a little bit. He probably went back to MIA because he got busy with real life.
Yeah, real life sucks, man. It takes us all the
Yeah.
way. I don't like it.
I don't know if people know and if I'm allowed to say, but we have a certain person back that left a couple years ago and is back. I don't know if we're allowed to say who.
I don't see why not.
Ladies and gentlemen, Zell is back.
Oh, that one.
It's not a bad thing. He's been all right.
Oh yeah, welcome
Don't
back, Zell.
know. Welcome back. Welcome back. It's always good to see old players come back. It's lovely to see them. I'm not gonna say who his character is. If he wants you to let you know, he'll let you know. But he's back, and he's been doing a good job. He's been a good sport. We just have so many old players coming back, and it's great. It makes me feel like I'm 16 again.
Yep. It does feel
Except
nice seeing all
now,
those guys come back.
I'm 21, and I'm higher level than all of them.
That's what happens when you stick around and
Sips
actually
coffee
stay
quietly.
active. But no, I always loved seeing old guys come back, especially from times when I started out and was actually active in RP.
Yeah.
So seeing those guys come back really brings a warm feeling to my heart. Man,
Mhm.
you guys are still coming back. Then again, I'm still here, so I guess that's not saying much.
Hey man, you don't have a choice. You signed the soul contract.
And I've signed others too.
I can believe it.
So, after so is there anything we can say about the next upcoming boss for those that are interested in helping out once that fight's been found?
Oh, dude, boss is gonna slap.
Yeah. Speaking from experience, and I'm gonna warn like last podcast, if you are not tier 3, do not come to the boss fight.
You have it here first. Make sure you're
Like
always make sure you're prepared for these boss fights. They get
Like-
crazy.
this one's gonna be the craziest ever as of thus far. Like, let's just think about it real quick. Like, let's talk about floor 24 real quick. All right, the Leviathan. Sorry. Did not plan for it to go that long, but people dropped out left and right, myself included. IRL sucks. And it definitely made the boss difficult when more and more people, because I was one of the highest damage dealers. Sandro was one of the highest damage dealers. A bunch of us dealt a lot of damage and healed and tank damage. We all kind of gone. We don't plan on trying to make it as long as Leviathan,
Hopefully.
but it's not going to be about the length. It's going to be about the strength. Because I honestly wouldn't care if we had a 4-page long boss. I would not care. But if that boss kills somebody, then I have succeeded as a floor 25 creator.
And nobody wants to die.
People have, okay, I'm gonna say this, and I'm a real talk. All right, people have held me back on bosses. On Tesseleth, his base damage was originally going to be 400.
Oof.
And that was back when tier 3 just released, so like barely anyone had any of their tier 3 stuff.
Oh yeah, that was a while back. Holy crap.
Yeah, that was a while back. With Thanos, they told me to boost down his MIT a lot. With Mothra, there was a lot of different effects that I wanted to do, and they said, please don't do it, because it would have been too crazy, and that I can agree with. But this is floor 25, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to hold me back much. And if you try to, I'm going to say no, because floor 25 is supposed to be difficult. So I'm going to make it difficult. And either I'm going for a retreat. I want you guys to actually have to retreat and plan and come back and fight again. That is what I want.
Work on the strategic plays.
I want to focus on strategy and see what you guys can do. Give you different options, possibly. It's the boss is still in the works, but this thing gonna be beefy.
We're all gonna die.
And Mina, you can't stop me. Anyways, Mina's like, don't kill people. Like, you can't stop me. I'm gonna go for death. Of course, I'm gonna go for death. Even if it costs my own character, I'm gonna go for death.
Well, the good thing is he probably is not gonna try and go out swinging at 2 level 1s right off the bat.
True.
Those
But
OGs know what I'm talking about.
as to hint towards what the boss will be, all I'm gonna say is look for the lore. on the floor because there is lore. It's sprinkled in there. There's just enough that you can get a hint of what it is, and eventually, when you find the boss room, it'll come. It'll come to fruition what it is. This labyrinth boss is not something that I can really hint away at because that spoils all of the fun that I'm going to be having with this boss. But the labyrinth floor boss is going to be difficult. I've never gone easy. And definitely not gonna stop for 425.
You know, back on one of the earlier floors, there was a little mini labyrinth quest, and it was pretty easy. All you really had to do was just, post a bunch. And you had to fight these minotaurs. I think they're called the Hoya of Minos. So
The search for the Hoya.
yeah, and my little personal headcanon about it has been, oh, it's going to be the Hoya of Major, of course. This is going to be the big one.
My word. Could make that. You just gave me an idea, Bahr.
Uh-oh. When Hick has ideas, it's better to run.
I'll talk about it after the podcast because I don't want to spoil anything. But you gave me an idea, and I might run with it.
All right.
Here in the SAO podcast, this is where ideas are born.
Honestly, I've had some of my best ideas listening and being a part of the podcast. It's been fantastic. All right. Anyways, I'm done my spiel about this floor. I'm really happy with it. I hope you guys enjoy it. I've seen a couple threads. I think, Bahr, you're doing a thread with Mac here on that floor.
Yep, Mac, Oscar, and I are doing a thread, and then I'm going to be doing that other one with the search party. So I'm going to get a lot of experience with the mechanics. Probably come back with some tips for people who haven't really tried it yet. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting floor. I like the variety of monsters that you can spawn because it seems like almost anything sort of mythological fits into the scenario, which is fun because you can fight a dragon, you can fight some minotaurs, you can fight a giant cobra, whatever you want. And I like that sort of freedom of creativity. So I've been enjoying it so far.
Nice. It's always fun.
I really think that's what Beat was going for. Because that list came with the floor when I was working on it, and I was like, "Oh, bro, this is dope." Because it is based a lot on, I believe it's Greek mythology. This floor specifically, like, it's a giant labyrinth that sounds like Greek mythology to me. I can't remember the name of the labyrinth. And my mind is blanking because it's too early in the frickin' morning and my cup of coffee still isn't gone. But yeah, I think it really is based on Greek mythology, and he really did a great job with pulling it all together.
Nice. Well, if we're on that topic, that pulls us right into the beautiful next segment on the entire reason why Bahr's on this podcast. So, Bahr in his forum, well, as those who filled out can see, we also ask if there's anything specific you guys want to talk about. Well, Bahr wanted to talk about your guys' threads and anything that could be of interest. So I'll let him take it away on that.
Yep, I'm gonna mute myself. All right.
So Bahr, what's going on in the world of players and their adventures that they're on?
All right, so didn't get a whole lot of time to prepare for this, but I did get a lot of people to respond and kind of tell me what it is that they're doing. I'm going to go through in no particular order and just kind of start talking about, some things that some of the characters are doing. I'm not going to focus on any specific threads because as anyone, who's writing on the website knows, if you have like a character arc or something like that going on, it usually spans over multiple threads. It's not usually like a one and done. So I'm kind of going to go ahead and just do a nutshell of sorts of just all the things that, anyone who responded to me anyways is doing with their character right now. And the first on my list is actually Hikoru. Hey, I got him right here. That's so convenient.
Crap, I didn't think I was first.
That works out.
So what Hikoru's got going on right now is he recently, I guess, left the Knights of Christ and started a little something called the Info Broker Society. And essentially what they do is it's just a guild of info brokers that go around and they have what's called a scout squad, which I love that title, by the way, because it's so fun to say.
Thank you.
And they run around, they walk around town, they hear the rumors, write them down, then they go to see if the rumor is true. So they're basically like the fact checkers of info brokers. They kind of get the adventure aspect in along with just the info side of things. So that's what Hicks got going on. Did you want to add anything to that?
Yep. I just want a quick correction. I originally, when I made the IBS, I did not leave the Knights of Christ. I originally left the Celestial Ascendants was when I started the IBS. So this is a year or two ago. The Knights of Christ was something that I was gonna do because Shark was gonna roleplay, and I was like, "Yo, I really want to be a part of this guild. I think it'll be a great time." And then stuff falls through. It happens. Real life happens.
And people stopped responding, and I really wanted to continue, but there was no one that kept pushing me along. I was like, "Dang, all right."
Yeah.
I got a new character,
And it
Dedrick.
happens.
Yeah.
I got a new character, Dedrick, and his whole shtick is that he's like this super Christian, and he grew up with like Christian monks and stuff, and got tempted by a technology store one day, and he went in, and they were kind of just showing off the nerve gear because it was launch day, so they offered to let him test it, and then he got trapped in the game. So if you ever want to do the Knights of Christ thing again, Dedrick would totally be down.
Dedrick sounds pretty dope.
All right. I mean, if we can find another couple of players that'd be interested, I might think about coming back again.
I don't know if I would because just where I am IRL, it would be very difficult.
Right. Understandable. So just gotta.
I'd love to though. Cause
we can talk about that later. What else is going on?
All right, so next person I wanted to talk about was Macrodon. Now, this is a character that is actually just chock full of really interesting lore. Obviously he's been on the site for a long time, so he's had quite a while to develop a lot of different plot points. And as like I asked him, like, hey, do you want to be in on this? Do you have anything you want me to say about Macrodon? And he sends me like this list of all the character arcs that his character's been through, and I'm like, damn, this guy is so cool.
Yeah.
But,
he's so cool, but he's so dumb. Sorry,
like
DBZ Abridged.
Rude.
No, DBZ Abridged. Oh my gosh, he's so cool. Sorry.
But what's going on with Macrodon recently, and this isn't exactly a new point, but he left the front lines a while ago. He kind of retired, right? And that I believe that was coming off the heels of Sendum being assassinated by Macrodon's vice commander in the guild.
God,
Oh
so,
yeah.
Don't make me cry. I had a whole arc of that too.
Oh my god, I was just sitting back and laughing at that.
Honestly, I wasn't because I was crying because Dom died in that freaking messed up hick. But
it's kind of weird too because Bahr has Sendum's sword right now, and Bahr
no,
has
you
no.
don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, 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 no.
No.
Time out. I was. Oh wait, no, you have the scare. Okay, sorry, I got confused. I thought we were talking about Graham, not the Scarecrow sickle. Might be.
No, I think that went to Lessa at some point, and now it's just gone.
No, it's actually in my possession.
Oh, nice. Cool.
So yeah, I have it. I'm doing a thread with Lessa to try to get info about. That's a whole nother arc that I'm doing that I haven't worked on. But sorry, I thought you were talking about like his sword, like Graham. I was like, no, time out. So might be you have the Scarecrow sickle. I forgot. My mistake. Sorry.
Yeah, he has no idea the story of Sendum. That's not who we're talking about. We don't have a Sendum Nightbell. This is the Macrodon Nightbell. So basically, what he was telling me he's done most recently is obviously, Macrodon met with Kyrie and they fell in love and now they're engaged. So he's got that going on. There should be a marriage eventually. We'll see. I guess he's hunting down Death Adder, but all he
Life
really
Subtractor?
found. What's that?
Life Subtractor?
Life Subtractor? Yeah. He's hunting him down, and he found his fan club guild, and he just wiped them out. So they're all dead now. And I guess he's got a little bit of a redemption arc that he's going through because Macronon's all messed up in the head. He saw too many people die. Sendum died. A bunch of other people died. Then he killed a bunch of people. And he's still a good guy, but it's a lot of death for a young 18, 20-something year old. So, yeah, he's going through some stuff.
Yeah, that stuff can definitely be hard.
Oh yeah, it's definitely made a lot of character arcs for every character interesting, especially ones that have been a part of boss raids for a couple years, because there has been a couple deaths a couple years back, and a lot of characters were affected, such as mine and Mac, and yeah.
Was one of those Alcor, or am I thinking too far back?
You're thinking a little bit too far back. I was there. My first one was Rock. That was my first boss thread, and that's when Azid died.
Rock. Oh boy.
Rock. I was the one that back. That's when I first had Shadow Path, and so this is like a ways back. Like I didn't even have a rank in it yet. I had just freshly gotten it, and I tried to run away because I was small and it hurt. Like the boss was injuring bad because of that giant AOE. And then I tried to run away because back then Shadow Path could run away whenever it did, and the bird picked me up and put me in his nest because that was an ability it had, and it just randomly rolled my dice. And then as he died, and Hick vowed to find a certain character that both of them were friends with that disappeared in a thread because of IRL stuff, and he was never able to come back. So Hick slowly and quietly has been like searching for him, and I know I don't really talk about it in threads, but I know that's a thing that he's always doing. He's always looking for clues that this person's gone, because he vowed to Z before he died.
Hey, with all the people coming back, you never know. You might get a chance to.
I personally don't think he's coming back. And no, it was not Xeon. Although I miss that dude a bit.
Well, moving on. The next character that I had was Pinball. So, entire community knows Curbs is dead. She's like really dead, and it's Pinball's fault.
Ooh, we're already pointing fingers. Oof. Yeah, cute taps in the background.
Sounds like Peter Griffin.
That's what I was going for.
So Pinball, he ever since I joined this community, he was the murder guy. It's kind of how I looked at him. He goes around and he kills people. That's what he likes to do. He tried to kill Bahr, and then Bahr got angry, and then he left. So Bahr is still alive. But like he was always the murder guy to me. He goes around. That's what he wants to do. Front line's corrupted. Got to kill people before they get to the front lines. Yada yada yada. So apparently he took issue with Curbs. I guess that their characters were friends in the beginning, and once he went to the dark side, so to speak, he just started harassing the hell out of her, and they kind of became arch nemesis. And this culminated in after Kit and Curbs tried to kill each other. Curbs kind of wandered off on her own, got isolated on the 4th floor, ran into Pinball. They had a fight, if you want to call it that. She didn't actually manage to hit him. It's kind of disappointing. But yeah, he killed her, and she was like, "I forgive you, man. Go tell my friends I love them." And this just, messed up his whole worldview. So now he's got his redemption arc going on. And apparently what he's doing right now is he's trying to level up a little bit so that when he goes to tell the people he needs to tell that Curbs is gone and that it was his fault, they won't just murk him on the spot, because he's gonna make a lot of people really mad. So that's what we got going on with Pinball.
Yes, he let the anger flow through him. Do it. Sorry, I had to make the Star Wars reference.
So we've lost Hick.
Yes. Yes. Unlimited power.
Ruby has a pretty small section. She just keeps almost dying. So she's the new Krillin. And that's all.
Somebody, please put Krillin in their name on the please, for the love of God, for the love of all that is holy, please put Krillin in their name. Oh my. Focus podcast.
Yeah, man, we got a job to do, man. Krill,
Yeah, heck.
round one.
Sorry.
Anyways, moving on.
So next up on the list is Calyrex. And I wanted to get a little off topic for just a second, which is that I just realized that one of his face claims is Naoto from Blaze Blue. So whenever I reached out to him, I was like, hey, I just realized, who that picture is of. Do you play Blaze Blue? He's like, yeah, actually, Ragna is my main. And Ragna is who I use as my face claim. So I thought that was a little neat. A little thing there. I was like,
Fun little tidbit.
Yeah, we're gonna.
You play my character. Yeah.
Man, if I played the character that I play on that game, I would have to be a player killer. There's no other way. His whole fighting style is he gets you on the ground and he stomps on you, and that's literally how he fights. That's all he does. But
I mean, I'm still waiting for that dual threat anytime.
Oh, I got justified. We could do it. Because you're like leagues beyond me in levels, but whatever. We can do that whenever you want.
Just for funsies.
So with Calyrex, the way that he described it to me is there's not really a lot that's like currently happening with him. He's become kind of like a recluse, and he's only really recluse. I don't know. But he's only showing up at boss fights mostly out of duty. He has a unique skill, so he kind of feels the need to show up because I guess Tristan was the one who passed it on to him. So he shows up out of obligation. And his most recent accomplishments, of course, were surviving the Leviathan boss raid. And that's actually how he describes it, is surviving. As opposed to killing it, he's like, I survived the raid. I made it through.
Yeah, honestly, I do feel bad because the thing with his unique skill is any DOT effect is doubled in duration. So he, instead of being frozen for 1 turn, he was frozen for 2 turns. So he would never get a turn in because he would keep getting frozen.
Should have brought an antidote.
He couldn't have used it. He's frozen.
Well, okay, so actually, I'm not going to get into that here. There's some wording on antidote that I need to be clarified, but I'm not going to get into it on the podcast.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
The next character was Jomei, and Jomei's going through a little bit of a rough time. He's been seen as like a leader, by those in his guild and in the past raid on the front lines, but he has a little bit of imposter syndrome going on, where he doesn't think that he's the leader everyone believes him to be. And part of the reason for this is that a lot of the guilds that he's been given ownership of in the past have eventually died down, in member count and activity, and he kind of blames himself for not being able to save those guilds. Whenever it came to the boss fight, he kind of felt that it could be a saving grace, restore his confidence a little bit, go in there, lead people into battle, kill a boss, feel good. And a lot of players almost died. A lot ended up warping out to avoid the possibility of death. And in the end, you got this small party of people, and he's kind of just looking around like, dude, where did I go wrong? So, he's got that all going on. It's not only that, a lot of people almost died and he blames himself for that. He also almost died. So he's kind of trying to come to grips with the fact that, one more thing would have gone wrong and he wouldn't be here anymore. And even outside of like the raids and outside of the front lines and stuff like that, he's been, trying to live a normal-ish life and, get married with Telrenia. Well, Telrenia, man, I totally butchered that, Telrenia. But, between the boss raids and, having managed the guilds and stuff like that, they haven't really had a chance to sit down and plan a wedding. So he's kind of got, it's kind of another thing that's just adding stress, just piling more stress onto the whole situation, is that he hasn't had the time to do what he really wants to do, which is just get married, man. So poor Jomei, man, he's just going through so much right now.
Poor baby boy.
Let's see. Next on the list was Dustin. All he really offered me is that Dustin is hunting down his brother's killer, which I guess happened like at the beginning of the game. But he only recently started searching for his brother's killer, and I guess that's because he wanted to, level up and get stronger so he could fight him. But that's pretty much it. That's what we got going on with Dustin. He didn't mention in his like mini interview with me, but he I believe that Dustin and Arabelle finally got together on the beach thread. So a little bit of romance there, looking good. Oh my god, I just realized too that like Hikoru was the first person I did this spotlight on, and I forgot to mention that he and Kit finally got together as well. In what is kind of a weird thing. Like I'm on the beach there and she's like, "Your body is mine." I'm like, whoa, man.
Yeah, no. Okay, look. As a writer, I stay in character. But man, that some of those lines are just like, huh, okay.
It's just the Yandere coming out. She's
Yeah,
not like
no, honestly, I love the date thread that we've been doing. I can't remember how many pages along we are, but
on the beach.
we're nearing the end of it. No, not the beach one. The separate one that we have going.
Oh, the date
The date when they finally actually become a couple.
in which you fell asleep on the date.
Okay, look, man. My boy be working long hours.
He's searching
Trying to
for that guy. He doesn't sleep.
Look, there's only so much that coffee. There's so much that poor little Sir Roland can make of pumpkin spice coffee.
All right, so the next character on the list was Cordelia, who henceforth will be referred to as Cornholio. Cornholio hasn't really done a whole lot yet. Still a pretty new character. Really, she's just been doing a lot of threads with Oscar, and there's like a hint that there may be a romance on the horizon. But whenever he went and got the Hoya of Minos for her and handed it to her, and he was like, "Hey, let's go on a date," she was just like, "No." So pretty brutal rejection. And that's about all we got for Cornholio so far. Let's see, scrolling up. All right, so Neo. It's pretty interesting what's going on with Neo right now. She has this whole corrupted weapon arc going on. And it's kind of interesting because Bahr has a little bit of the same thing going on. Sendum was all bloodlusty, so he got a hold of Sendum's sword, and now he's all bloodlusty, and he doesn't know if it's the sword or him. With Neo, we know it is the weapon. She's developed what they've been referring to as a shadow, and it's almost like there's two people in possession of her. There's normal Neo, and then sometimes this shadow will take the wheel, and she'll have to sit in the back seat and sort of just watch what it's doing. And it's just corrupting the heck out of her, man. She's what's the best way to put this? It's just straight up evil. Like a shadow's just evil. It just wants to do evil things to to good people. It wants to lead them into traps, probably beat them up, steal their lunch money. But there was a lot leading up to this, and she sent me like all these threads, and I just don't have the time to get into all of them and like flesh all of them out for you. But this has been a long time coming. This isn't something where she just decided to flip a switch and my character is corrupted now. This has been something that's been building up for a long time through several floors, through several boss fights. It's pretty interesting to see how it's developed so far and how far it will go. But if you end up threading with Neo right now, she's not really going to be herself, and you can only really see what I mean whenever you actually get to writing with her. So look forward to that. The next was Strider. He's not doing a whole lot. He finally just got some money together to build a guild hall. So he's going to be starting a guild called Guardians of the Rising Dawn. And his current character arc is just trying to recover from the death of his best friend, Itos. And that's about all he shared with me. But that's what we got going on with Strider right now. I reached out to Taeyeon. All she really mentioned was till Renia's wedding is going to be soon-ish. And Ku almost died. You know, just got hit by the Banshee once and almost died. So that's what's going on with her. Oscar, I kind of already glazed over. He's kind of in the same box as Cornholio at the moment, in which they're just doing a lot of threads together. You know, he tried to go on a date with her. She said no. Right now, what Kit has going on is that she, obviously she's hooking up with Hick. She's got that, she's got that prestige boyfriend. She's going down a dark path right now, according to her, and there are some assassins that are chasing her. This is kind of piggybacking off of the actual backstory of her character in the real world, in which she was kind of trained to be an assassin from a really young age. And it's all kind of tying together in an interesting way. If you want all the details, you should definitely reach out to her. But yeah, it ties into like the whole backstory of her character, in which she's desperately trying to escape this this lifestyle that she had before. But it looks like soon she's going to be forced to kill again. And then the last person on my list is Lessa. Lessa has been, down in the dumps for about 2 years. Following the death of Alcor, she kind of just went down this rabbit hole of isolation and depression. And most recently, she decided to start trying to, get out again a little bit. So she goes on this quest with Bahr, and they have a plan for how they're going to take down the Lich King. And as soon as they get in there, Bahr's like, plan? What plan? I'm just going to do what I want. And it almost gets her killed. I want to say she got down to like 4% of her usual HP. It was pretty gnarly. But a good thing that happened there was she realized during that fight that she didn't really want to die. She didn't know what she wanted to live for, but she doesn't want to die. So we got a little bit of like an emotional redemption arc going on, where she's kind of just trying to steel herself and, get back out there and, recover, be a whole person again. Because right now she doesn't feel like she is. She doesn't know what she wants to live for. And that's the whole nutshell. Sorry for just prattling on.
No, that was actually very interesting. Just hearing about getting people to hear about, hey, other people here's what's going on with other people. So that's a fun segment.
Mm.
So I know I mentioned in the last episode that I didn't really have time to get all the donations. So I did get a list of those, and I will say a giant thank you to Oscar, Boyd, Zane, forgive me if I mispronounced, it's Kitsia, and Pinball, and Alec. Thank you all for your support, and we hope to see you continue and down the line. It does, all donations help to keep the site running, or if we as staff see, hey, there's this add-on for the form that we can get, but it costs money. So that's what donations are used for. It's to really enhance your RP experience and overall site feel.
Did you know that Oscar and Zane are the same person?
Yes, it's just two different accounts.
Okay,
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So we pretty much went on there. Is there any other, pretty much, any other topics outside of those that anyone's looked at? I do see that there's been a recent post in the Star-Crossed Lovers Tier 2. I think that was from Haz on Thursday. Anyone know about what's going on with that?
It's kind of slowed down to a very slow crawl, and I kind of feel bad. So I'm thinking about calling it early and just saying that they retreated because, everything else.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then get people their rewards. I'm gonna try to meet with Kit and see where she's at, because this has gone on a little bit too long. I do kind of feel bad because this is only supposed to take a month or two, and now we're here like 3 to 4 to 5 months.
Yeah, it's always rough when those things happen, when something like that happens.
Yeah.
So just because I'm a noob, if let's say I'm in the tier 1 event, because I am still a noob in that thread. If let's say that the tier 2 gets finished and just all the tier 2 and 3 characters come flooding into the tier 1 event, if one of them gets a last hit, does that mean they get the last hit rewards for the tier 1, or is it the last tier 1 who hit?
Last tier 1.
Okay.
There was a special rule for that because I was like, I want you guys to help each other, but you're not going to get different rewards and take tier 1 or tier 2s from their rewards because you guys earned your rewards. So
Right.
Cool.
it's just to help get it moving along. That's why I had the tier 3s move to the tier 2s and the tier 2s move to the tier 1s. It's just to help them out. Because it was made to be a little bit of a challenge, but not as much as it is. Like, you could see the tier 3 boss. It was really took out in like 3 turns. It was killed. He didn't even get to flex more than once, which is kind of sad. And then the tier 2 is kind of where it's been rough. I feel really bad for them. I feel so bad for Alec. Like, the one he told me, he goes, the one time I don't wear a anti-paralysis pendant, the one thread where I don't wear it is where I'm stunned every other turn. Like, I'm sorry.
So let's see here. So we did that. So is there anything, any other interesting stuff going on?
I don't think so. I think we're still waiting on this new event to really start picking up speed, and then we have the thing coming up soon. The what's it called? Yeah, that thing. Great job, Nate. The labyrinth fight. We're waiting for that.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So I don't know if any of you are paying attention to the forum last night, where I posted about the release of Sword Art Abridged episode 14. So that's up there in the what was it? The general and random discussion SAO Abridged parody. So if anyone's interested in watching that episode, go right ahead, and I will say you will not be disappointed. Let's see here. 3.0 is coming soon. Cannot give you an official release date, but it's actually not a lie this time. Hopefully.
Hopefully,
We
we're
pray.
trying.
I'm trying. Anywho, we are still, staff teams are still open. Apply if you're interested. All teams. For systems, if you require more information on that, reach out to Axios at this time, as Itzel is away due to real life. If you're looking for lore development, that's our plot team. So go ahead and reach out to either Morg or I believe Haz. They'll be able to get you some more information on their teams. Any other teams, feel free to reach out to that designated those people, and or
So that would
myself
be
if you have any
Morgan
other
for
questions.
my team, Neo for the
Player support.
player support.
We are still looking for developers for the Minecraft server. Unfortunately, we haven't had the time that we would like to do more on that. So if you're interested, people to build or work on plugins, feel free to reach out to me. I did update to the latest version, 1.14.4, for those of you who are interested. Other than that, if you want more information on that, feel free to reach out to me directly. Now at this time, we will field any and all questions you guys may have. If you want to join us on the podcast and ask a question to us directly, feel free to hop in that call-in section. Until then, Nick, you got anything you want to talk about that we might be working on, or that we can tease?
Well, we can tease. Well, I can't really tease the boss because I want to keep it a surprise. Especially the labyrinth boss. I absolutely adore this. But that is a good question. I honestly don't know if there's anything to hint at right now, because really a lot of focus has been towards 3.0 in this Halloween event. And like I said earlier, I've been a little bit MIA. I've been really busy trying to get schoolwork done and, stay caught up with classes.
Right, I know a lot of people's pretty much are try to hit the ground running with school and classes and all that fun jazz.
Yeah.
So we are still looking for people to join the podcast as a special guest. If no one signs up, then we might skip the next episode, or it might come to a screeching halt. We'll find out. But if you want to sign up, it's in the blog section of the podcast.
Please.
So there is that.
Please sign up.
Bahr, you've got anything you want to talk about while we wait for people to field questions?
Sundom did nothing wrong.
Let's talk about morality, shall we?
Poor Morg. Next time, if there is a next time.
If there is a next time.
Yeah, it's been a long morning.
Very long morning. I was telling the other two earlier. I woke up at about 9:30 my time after going to bed at like 3 to 4 o'clock in the morning, and I set an alarm for 10 o'clock, and then I set an alarm for 10:15, and I got up and I got some coffee,
Nice.
and here I am.
Well, it looks like we have
Hooray.
Oscar in the call-in, so we're gonna go ahead and bring him up and ask him a question. Hey, Oscar, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, mortal.
What's up?
What's up?
Hey,
What do you wanna talk about?
Well, it's not so much a question as it is something that's currently going on.
Go ahead, shoot.
With the Halloween event. Last night I was talking with Bahr, and we thought it would be cool if our characters made cameos in each other's threads, right? Because we're all supposed to be in this big tent together, right? So,
Right.
it might give a little more immersion if people started doing that. I'm just throwing that out as a suggestion to the listeners.
Interesting.
All right.
Bahr did a power slide on his face right past Oscar. That was my cameo.
That is fantastic.
And I started beating the zombies with another zombie.
It's awesome.
I'll beat a mother with another mother.
All right, hopefully, me coming in here has got the nerves down for everybody, so we can get more call-ins.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
If not, we're gonna start winding down the podcast.
Yeah. Oscar, really
Alright,
quick.
take it easy.
Oscar, really quick before we leave.
What's up?
What did you think about the nutshell thing that Bahr did? I just want your opinion, just so we can have a little bit of feedback.
I thought it was a pretty solid segment. With how everything is, sort of self-contained in their own threads, which is a format that Bahr and I aren't really used to. It's hard to really have some cohesiveness with personal stories going on the site. So having a little recap would really help people find ways to interact with other characters and would enrich the roleplay of the site, I think.
All right, cool. I just wanted a little bit of feedback because you were here. So.
Oh yeah, I caught the tail end of it, but yeah, I was here.
Nice. Well, thank you for coming on, and maybe we'll
Alright.
have you, since you seem to be available, go ahead and fill out a special guest form on your way out.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
All right. Thanks,
Do it.
Oscar. Appreciate it.
Do it. Bye, buddy.
Bye.
All right. So that was fun. So again, anyone else? Okay. Let's see here. Morg has a question. I think people would enjoy a dress-up player-made event for Halloween too.
Oh, that was directed at me. Sorry, I didn't get the tag till now. I wasn't paying attention to my screen. Excuse me. I'm gonna yawn for a little. Personally, I don't think that would be a good idea because a lot of people are busy.
I think it would really depend on the format. Like,
Yeah.
you've got threads like the beach thread where we're doing this whole like catwalk swimsuit experience extravaganza. And it's really slow moving. I don't mean that as a jab, but it is really slow moving. So if you wanted to do it as like a Halloween themed event and you don't want it to go past Halloween, probably the only way that you could arrange something like that would be to have like a thread where people do their submissions with maybe like 150 to 300 words of roleplay if we wanted that, but not have it be like an actual thread. And then people could like vote on whatever they liked most, like what was the spookiest costume, what was the coolest one, which was the funniest one, and kind of just go from there.
Yeah, don't make it an actual thread. Make it like a competition thread like we did for last winter. We had that art submission where people would send in a certain amount. Now it wouldn't be sending it in to like me or anybody. You'd post it in this thread. I'd say you could probably make it as much as you want, make it as long as you want, really describe your outfit or whatever you're doing. I think that would be fun, but doing an actual thread would not be in the best interest personally.
Agreed.
Yeah, it sounds about right. So, and any other questions that people may have or want to join the podcast and talk to us directly or have anything you want to talk about? Go ahead and get in that position and we'll bring you in.
I actually had a question.
Yeah, shoot.
So during the last podcast, we all spoke. Well, I heard briefly whenever Oscar came in, he's like, "Hey, what's the deal with unique skills?" So, I mean, I'm privy to everything that you guys discussed back then. The question that I had is, do you guys think that those unique skills are going to be dropped at the same time as 3.0, or do you think that they're going to be delayed a little bit longer?
Uh, from what I've understood, and I could be wrong, they're not coming out with 3.0. They're going to be delayed a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we still have things that are in the plan. Yeah, even more saying that they're delayed. They're gonna take a lot more time to do, and personally, I think it's not a good idea to have them with 3.0 because that would just be too much. I think because 3.0 is a complete overhaul of the system,
Right.
and people are gonna need some time to get used to the new system, myself included. So it might give some gap time so that people can learn the system and then we'll bring those out. I think is the plan. I don't know how long the delay will be. I cannot guarantee. But just it's not going to come out with 3.0. That is not a thing that's going to happen.
All right. Good to know. Looks like we got Mina in the call-in section.
Oh yeah, there she is.
Mina, welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
So what do you want to talk to us about?
Wait, oh jeez, I'm getting this double. Sorry, give me a second.
Seconds
Yeah.
up.
I had the podcast playing in a different window.
Nice.
No, you're good.
But yeah, no, just to reiterate with what Hick was saying, we're definitely not releasing those along with 3.0. It would be too complicated, and then everybody would end up getting confused.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's just overwhelming it might be overwhelming with some people just because of this overhaul of the system and then adding unique skills on top of that, I think might slow some people down or make them like just boost people's anxiety, and we want to avoid any confusion and give staff time to kind of field any minor bugs that might have come out or we missed or stuff like that.
Yeah, and during like the first few weeks or so of the release, we're probably going to be using that as like our debug time and get feedback from everyone, and then try and fix it after we get everyone's feedback. I think that's the general game plan for right now.
Yeah, and then we're doing the whole unique skill.
That's going to be
Drop.
great, man. We're going to have 3.0, and then in the weeks after, we're going to have 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, like all in a row. Had to wait. Oh no.
No,
We're
I
thinking
don't
this
think
is
we're
gonna be
gonna do
Windows 10.
that.
Definitely a Windows 10 situation.
It feels like it, doesn't it?
Yep. I mean, that's because a lot of with the current system now, it's, this is, yeah, hey, all these systems up to here was just preparing us for this new system. And then from there, that's going to be the final system with minor updates and tweaks here in between.
And then the next thing you know, we're gonna be planning out 4.0, right? And instead of 8 years, it'll take 20.
No, it's 4.20.
4.2.
Yeah.
Nice.
That makes me hurt a little inside thinking of that.
I know, right? It's like,
Yeah,
oh
no,
boy.
welcome to 4.0. Oh no, we've started more. He's on a tangent about 4.0. This is not good. What have we done?
You
We
guys
broke
did
more.
bad.
Like, hey guys, now that we spent like literal years creating and scrapping and creating and scrapping to make the 3.0 system, but now that it's finally released, let's talk about 4.0.
It's going to be
Let's
another
just talk.
15 years before that completes.
That's gonna be another
No.
15 years before it's even started.
Oh man, and by then we'll be on like floor 32.
Ooh,
Ugh.
man, making gains.
That hurts. That hurts so
Eat
much.
it until it dies.
Nah, don't lie. It'll be for 28 probably.
Okay, look, we're faster than that, just a little bit. 29, okay?
I mean,
Every year represents 6 months to a year.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm actually, yeah.
at least you're being honest with yourself.
We're all about honesty.
Yeah, no. Nope, not gonna say that. Alright.
Alright. Well, Mina, thanks for coming on. Do you have anything else you want to talk to us?
Not really, no. Thanks for having me, you guys.
Yeah, it's been a
No
pleasure.
problemo.
Have a good one, man.
Bye.
Adios.
Alright. So, looks like there's no one else waiting for their call in. No other questions. I think it's about time we wind down and let you all go and return to your daily lives. Assuming you have
Mortals.
them.
That's been my thing recently, just saying mortals. Alright.
Mere mortals.
Mere mortals, you have no power over the podcast crew.
Well, it's like Morg's typing. I don't know if it's a question or a statement.
I'm scared.
Well, you should always be scared, Hick. No.
Oh, man.
More.
Oh yeah.
I want a 10-hour video that you fell asleep to Hick speaking softly. No, we want that 10-hour video of Taco speaking softly.
No, but it's just, you just hear, just softly in your ear. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Today we're going to be taking a nice 10-hour flight. I'm going to be talking over the intercom the whole time. Going to be telling you what I see in the windows as we're flying by. But it should be interesting. I might honestly play on my 3DS. Play some Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds. Try to get all of the collectibles and all of the hard canisters. So I might talk to you about playing that. But other than that, we're just gonna be having a smooth flight. And thank you for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe. And we'll have a good time. And scene. That for 10 hours.
Oh boy. Now, Taco, it sounds like he's got the voice of God or the voice of Morgan Freeman. Compared the two.
He does.
It
Alright.
gets you.
Alright,
riled
Morg,
up.
you can just kind of take that out of the YouTube video
Clip it.
and just put
Put it
that
on.
on loop.
10-hour loop.
10-hour loop. Honestly, I would do something like that, but I don't have the patience for 10 hours
Yeah,
of
that's
sitting there and just talking.
that's rough.
A bunch of times. I'll do all the work for you.
Opens video editor. Oh
Oh
no.
my god! If you do that, we'll premiere it. We'll put it on a
Well,
premiere.
The next podcast is just Hikoru for 10 hours. Being a
Just, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking.
All right.
Can you hear
Well,
that about 20 times?
at least. Well, I'd like to thank you guys all for tuning into the podcast, and hopefully we'll get some people to sign up for a special guest, and we can keep doing this. Overall,
Yeah,
it's been
definitely.
a blast, guys, and I look forward to seeing you or seeing what happens for the next episode.
Yeah. Get those threads done. Make some more, because I'm not gonna say it's guaranteed, but I really personally liked the nutshell segment, and I want to bring it back.
Yeah, it was definitely nice.
So, Bahr, you might have signed a soul contract without even realizing. Congratulations.
I don't know, but you can probably have my body, or at least part of it.
Okay.
Well, in that case, thank you guys for joining the podcast, and thank you all for tuning in. It's been a pleasure having you two, Hikoru and Bahr, and see you guys when I see you guys.
Adios, guys.
Later.